Karen Grant Blackburn, and I'm the chair of the Melrose Commission on Women. And on behalf of everyone, I'd like to invite you and say welcome to the 2024 inaugural address. Inauguration for the City of Melrose. We have a lot to accomplish this evening, but really quickly, I wanted to reflect that when the mayor-elect asked me to do this, I did what I think most of us do as women. I said, oh God, no. There's gotta be someone far more qualified to do this. And then I took a moment and I thought about the mayor-elect, and I thought about my friend, who was going to have a monumental night tonight, and she wanted me to be a part of it. And with that, I said, you know what, I could get out of my own way. Ignore that little voice that says that there's someone else who can do this. And I said yes. So my invitation to all of you is to always ignore that little voice. Even when there's stuff that you know that you're really not qualified to do, you can wing it. So please welcome the Melrose High School Marching Band, who will play our processional. Please rise if you are able as our inaugural procession begins. Please welcome former Mayor Gail Inferna. Please welcome the department heads of the City of Melrose. Please welcome Melrose School Committee Chair Margaret Driscoll and the Melrose School Committee. They'll be escorted by Fire Chief Ed Kalina. Please welcome City Council President Lila Migliorelli and the Melrose City Council. They'll be escorted by Police Chief Kevin Failure. Please welcome Mayor Paul Broder. Oh my goodness. Please welcome State Senator Jason Lewis and State Representative Kate Lipper-Garabedian. Please welcome Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan. Please welcome State Auditor Diana DiZaglio. Please welcome Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll. Please welcome Democratic Whip Congresswoman Catherine Clark. And with great pleasure, please welcome Mayor-elect Jennifer Grigoraitis, her husband Bill, their sons Graham and Reed, and her family. Melrose Police Honor Guard will now post their colors. Members of the Melrose High School Unified Basketball Team will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Kindly remove your hats if you are able to do so.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to invite Cleo Mook to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'd like to welcome Democratic Whip Congresswoman Catherine Clark.
Good evening. It is always so moving to witness the transfer of trust and responsibility, and it is particularly special to see it here in Melrose, a community that means so much to me and to my family. Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, Thank you for helping us celebrate. I also want to welcome Mayor Broder. Thank you for your leadership over the last 4 years, and so pleased to be here. With you and with Mayor Gail Inferna. And to our mayor-elect, Melrose City Councilors and school committee members, congratulations. And thank you for lending your time, your energy, and your talent to serving the people of Melrose. And I want to thank our many other special guests. Our state auditor is here, and our district attorney, Marion Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us. The first time I got to speak at a Melrose inauguration, it was my own. And I had just taken office as the chair of the Melrose School Committee. It was January of 2002, and I was so excited. I had never run for office before. I was thrilled to be part of this community. It was a new year, a new administration, and a new city government. But our country was grieving at the same time for the thousands of lives that we had lost just a few months prior on 9/11. We were suddenly unmoored from the world we thought we lived in. But even through that days, that heartbreak and fear, we had something constant and reassuring here in our city. When our world was so uncertain, our neighbors were still here. The bonds of this community were still here. And our leaders were still here, moving us forward one step at a time. 22 years later, we are at another time of great challenge for our country. But whatever we may face, the solutions begin here in Melrose. Building the schools of the future for our children, creating affordable housing, preserving our planet, caring for our elders and our veterans, making sure that we create opportunity for everyone. All of it begins with the work you do, neighbor to neighbor. The work of Melrose City government is democracy in action, and it is a blueprint for how we rise past partisanship, past rancor, to create solutions. Just look at the last few years. Under Mayor Broder, Melrose has navigated the pandemic, bringing home rescue plan funds, keeping our families healthy, and getting our kids back in school. This community has endured and achieved a lot over the last 4 years, but we know we have more work to do. And how fortunate we are to have another visionary leader step into the mayor's seat, a mom, a public servant with a mission to bring everyone along, to defend the dignity and well-being of survivors, to educate our children and care for our seniors, to move Melrose forward. Mayor-elect Grigoraitis, I'm sorry. Jen, Mayor Jen, I am grateful to have you in this fight. I am honored to be here and celebrate this new chapter with you. And I can't wait for what lies ahead for Melrose under your leadership. To the city councilors, thank you for raising your hand to serve. To the school committee members, I still think it's the toughest job in politics, but it is also one of the most rewarding, and I thank you for your work. Congratulations all on this honor, and please consider me a partner in the work of the city. And to all of you, a very happy 2024. It is good to be home because it is here, together, that we will build a future worthy of our children. Thank you.
Please welcome Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll.
Good evening, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here, partly because I'm such a huge fan of what happens in local government, and to extend congratulations on behalf of Governor Healy and myself on the amazing work that's been going on in Melrose, thanks to certainly the number of folks who are on this stage and many more who aren't. But one of the reasons I'm especially grateful to be here is because I really believe the strength of accomplishing what I call the get stuff done branch of government starts with the individuals you've elected on this stage. I don't think there's a higher honor you can provide anybody in a community than electing them to represent you, to spend your money, to make the policies that are going to ensure that Melrose continues to grow and thrive. As someone who spent 17 years as the mayor of a city just north of here in Salem, Massachusetts, I know how critical it is that we have individuals who are willing to step up, take their turn at leadership in order to make our communities work. And I want to extend congratulations, whether you're a returning member or a new member being sworn in of the council, the school committee, and certainly Mayor-elect Grigoraitis. The individuals that you have elected here are holding Melrose's future in their hands every single time they meet and approve budgets and set policy. And that's an honor that you bestowed on them. So congratulations for taking on that heady task. And congratulations to all of you for leaning into the work. I believe that local government's the most important branch of government that we rely on every day in our lives. No offense, Congresswoman Clark, or to any of the other elected officials who are here, state, county. If you think about it, the local government is a branch of government that educates your kids, keeps your neighborhood safe. Invest in those places where you make memories, whether it's a favorite park or a downtown square. They drive the local economy. That's the place that's the branch of government that's going to decide the type of quality of life that you can have in your community. And Governor Healy and I feel like we have our duty to be in service to what's happening at the local level. This is the place where we build housing. This is the place where we educate the next generation of leaders. This is the place that makes sure we're going to have a resilient future. And that's driven at the local level by the decision makers, the leaders that you have elected, neighbors saying, we're going to choose you to make decisions for us and on behalf of our entire community. I can think of no greater privilege than that. And certainly to Mayor Grigoraitis, I'm so excited to be here to welcome you to what I call the Get Stuff Done Club. I think being on the school committee is a hard job, but I think the hardest job in America is being mayor. Think about it. When you're mayor, you've got to make decisions every day. There's no hiding. You're going to see the people who are impacted by your decisions in the grocery store, on the sidelines at youth soccer, in church, wherever it might be. It tends to make you more accountable, tends to make you a better listener, and frankly, it drives consensus. In local government, there's no Republican or Democratic pothole. It's a pothole, and it's got to get fixed. This is where the decisions that need to be made that impact your daily lives really matter. So I'm so grateful to be here to congratulate you on a hard-fought campaign and standing up and raising your hand to say, I want to be the one to help make decisions for my community, to ensure that we're going to be a place that continues to grow and thrive, to take on those tasks that are so important to the quality of life here. It's a special job, and if you love where you live, it's the best job in America. You can really influence things in your community. And that's why Governor Healy and myself feel it's really important not only to be here to support and celebrate with you, but more importantly, to lift up and empower the work that's happening in local government. It's up to us to ensure, with your amazing elected legislative delegation, we're certainly grateful to have both Senator Lewis and Representative Kate Lippert-Garabedian to work with as partners. But it's up to us to make sure we're empowering the work that's happening, lifting it up. Sometimes that means getting out of the way. So the types of activities that are so critical, the supports that you need, whether that's in policy or resources, are there. We believe that's our job. Now, both the governor and I played a little bit of hoop. You may know that. We've leaned into the basketball theory in our administration. But it's because we really believe in the power of teams and the ability, particularly at the local level, to put a team in place that's all rowing in the same direction. You know, great cities, they don't happen by accident. It takes intentional leadership and people leaning in on the school committee, on councils, in the private sector, your small businesses, your board and commission members, the hundreds of people that volunteer for the city of Melrose every single day, all sharing a vision. Well, that's when the magic happens. And it's our job to be in service to that, to lift it up, to make sure that you've got what you need to keep moving forward. Because we firmly believe when we have thriving cities and towns, we have a thriving Commonwealth. So I'm here to extend our grateful congratulations for all the work that you're doing, let you know how excited we are about being able to partner with you. It's a new year. You can sense new energy, new optimism, and that's great for Melrose, but that's also great for Massachusetts. So thanks for having me here today. We're so much looking forward to all the work ahead. Happy New Year, and many more to come.
So today we mark not only the inauguration of a new mayor, city council, and the school committee for Melrose, but also the start of a new year. We're joined tonight by students from the Melrose Public Schools who will collectively read a poem of reflection called New Day's Lyric by Amanda Gorman. I now welcome to the stage Piper Casey, Morgan Pagnini, Maura Eckler, Molly Rosen, Abby Harney, and Suki Hampson.
Amanda Gorman is an American poet and activist. In 2017, she was named the first ever National Youth Poet Laureate of the United States. Amanda Gorman released this poem, New Day's Lyric, in December of 2021, in recognition of the challenges and losses of the pandemic, and echoing a call for people to come together with boldness, courage, and hope.
The poem has a universal and lasting message of working together and paving a path forward in a new year. We invite you to join us in reflecting on the inspiring words of A New Day's Lyric.
May this be the day we come together. Mourning, we come to mend. Withered, we come to weather. Torn, we come to tend. Battered, we come to better. Tethered by this year of yearning, we are learning that though we weren't ready for this, we have been readied by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave a way forward.
This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it, to leave the known and take the first steps.
So let us not return to what was normal, but reach toward what is next. What was cursed, we will cure. What was plagued, we will prove pure. Where we tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswore, now the future we foresee. Where we weren't aware, we're now awake. Those moments we missed are now these moments we make. The moments we meet, and our hearts, once all together beaten, now all together beat.
Come, look up with kindness yet, for even sorrow can be source from sorrow. We remember not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow.
We heed this old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts we hear it. For Old Lang Syne, my dear, for Old Lang Syne. Be bold, sang time this year. Be bold, sang time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow ye will find. Know what we thought need not be forgot, nor for none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join this day just begun. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome.
At this time, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll will administer the oath of office to the Melrose School Committee.
Perfect. Can I ask members of the school committee to please rise who are being sworn in today? And if you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. We'll start with an I, and then I'll pause so you can state your name, okay? I. Let me hear it, people. I do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and will support the Constitution thereof. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a school committee member for the city of Melrose. I think we got most of it. According to the best of my abilities and understanding, agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. Congratulations.
Please welcome Margaret Driscoll, 2024 Chair of the Melrose School Committee.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. What a historic and celebratory night for our community, and on behalf of the Melrose School Committee, we are honored to share in this commitment to public service in our beautiful city. From the headlines we often see, we might conclude that public education has had its day. Buildings are crumbling around us, students are completely unruly, understaffing is insurmountable, the politics are suffocating, school boards, district staff, and state and federal education employees are underperforming and untrustworthy, and there isn't now nor will there ever be enough funding to sustain what quality education should be. But while we have challenges, that blanket notion is patently false. What the headlines overlook is the other 90% of public education, which is the amazing teaching and learning that happens every day in every school building for our students who are intellectual and developmental sponges. They are always questioning, always wondering, always watching, always exploring, and always learning. Did you know that second graders at the Horace Mann School are working on a how-to series so they can explain things like how to braid hair or make sushi? Fifth graders at the Hoover are creating survival guides for national parks using research about wildlife, plant life, and more. Lincoln and Winthrop students are making New Year's resolutions to increase their amount of reading, meet their math goals, or learn to cook better. Third graders at Roosevelt are choosing a word to guide them through the year. Sixth graders are exploring where they would build a burial site. High schools are performing concerts, competing in athletic contests, participating in myriad clubs and activities, and doing deep dive learning into a vast array of courses from foundational requirements to electives like human health and disease, website design, and leaders in civic action. And did you know that there are 4 content pathways at the high school, including STEM, visual and performing arts, business and humanities, so students can follow their passion and explore their next best lives. Or that we offer 5 languages at both the middle and high school, along with a seal of biliteracy. That is unheard of and incredible. How does this happen? It's because of you. Students who you've heard from tonight, you are working hard in finding your authentic path. Families and caregivers, you help and support the children you love and nurture. Citizens who have no children in our schools, you invest in students every day with your tax dollars. The 450-plus educators who come to Melrose each day to engage with a student, whether a teacher, paraprofessional, administrator, van driver, administrative assistant, cafeteria worker, maintenance professional, crossing guard, or someone else who works in our schools. Each of you contributes to teaching and learning because you connect with students. You set eyes on a child and know when things are going right or wrong to keep them on track. You lift kids up, you inspire and engage them, and you feed the curiosity in each child. Community nonprofits and volunteers, you provide resources without which we couldn't do nearly what we are able to do for students that we can with your help. Educational leaders in many departments in state administration, in particularly the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, with whom we might not always agree, but who are dedicated public servants who care deeply for the 900,000 students of the Commonwealth and work very hard on our behalf. The elected officials on this stage at the local, state, and federal level, you contribute your time, talent, and treasure for the benefit of us all. And for the school committee, with no financial compensation, and for the city council, a quite small amount. There are others too numerous to name, but you all make an enormous difference. The city and schools are one interconnected web of health, safety, learning, and the joy of curiosity and community. We certainly have problems to solve and challenges to face, but within that good and important work, we need to remember and celebrate why we do it. Let's be grateful for and energized to inspire students and share in their love of learning in the coming year and beyond. Thank you.
At this time, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll will administer the oath of office to the Melrose City Council.
If members of the City Council could please raise their right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and will support the Constitution thereof. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a city councilor in the city of Melrose. According to the best of my abilities and understanding. Agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution. And the laws of the Commonwealth. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations.
Please welcome Lila Migliorelli, 2024 President of the Melrose City Council.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Blackburn. It is such a privilege to share the stage with current and former elected officials who represent Melrose at the national, state, and local level. We are so fortunate to have these distinguished guests here with us tonight to celebrate. I'm so appreciative to also be standing in front of an audience of people who have done so much for Melrose. This community truly runs on the hard work of city and school staff, as well as volunteers. Thank you all for what you do for the city. I'm deeply honored to be the City Council President for 2024. Thank you to my colleagues for placing their trust in my ability to lead, and I hope to follow in the excellent examples of my immediate predecessors, Mayor-elect Grigoraitis and former City Councilor Chris Sanella. Thank you both for your leadership and service, and of course, to Mayor-elect Grigoraitis, congratulations as you graduate from the City Council to Mayor. I know that this City Council stands ready and willing to work with you in your new role. While campaigning for a third term as City Councilor at large, I had the opportunity to speak with residents across the city and listen to their hopes and concerns for Melrose. Knocking on doors truly gives you an insight into how people are feeling about their city in a way that cannot be captured on social media. The concerns I heard varied, everything from traffic and potholes to more complex issues like how to better fund our schools, thoughts on development and its effect on housing affordability, issues addressing the aging population, and even curiosity about when a brewery will open in the city. But overall, theme of hope was consistent. Residents love to call Melrose home and truly want the best for their community. Our job on the City Council is to always be mindful of this. The voters have placed their trust in us as elected officials. Whether you've lived here all your life or just moved in yesterday, whether you rent or own, Melrose is your home, and we are here to represent you. The City Council has a fiduciary responsibility, as well as an obligation to make informed decisions in the best interests of our constituents. What I have learned these past 4 years is that decision-making process cannot be done in a vacuum. While not exactly must-see TV, our council meetings are where the business gets done in real time. In those meetings, we listen and learn from one another, as well as hear from the subject matter experts who work for the city. We have to take in a significant amount of information, both in and out of our meetings, to effectively evaluate and advocate for what we believe will improve the community. The City Council is not a place for members to stand on soapboxes or grind axes. It is a place to facilitate thoughtful discussion, ask tough questions, and balance immediate needs with long-term challenges. Disagreement is par for the course, but when done respectfully, can lead to a better result for Melrose. I am confident that this council will rise to the challenge. I look forward to working with all of my colleagues on the council, Mayor-elect Grigoraitis, Chair Driscoll, and members of the school committee to capitalize on this moment to ensure that Melrose continues to be a thriving community. Speaking of community, no one on this stage got to where they are without the support of their own personal communities. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank mine. All of the friends and family who have supported my journey in public service, but especially my husband, Matt, and my sons, Colin and Nathan, for their unwavering love and support. And also to my parents. My father immigrated to the US from Pakistan in the early 1970s, met and married my Irish-Italian mother a few years later, and then moved to Melrose shortly after I was born in the late 70s. And then we left Melrose 8 years later, but we won't hold that against them. I don't know that either of them imagined that their daughter would be standing here 40 plus years later as the first person of color to lead the City Council in Melrose. I'm grateful for their love and encouragement and that they are here with us tonight. As we look ahead, our small but vibrant city has challenges to overcome, but with sound leadership, thoughtful planning, and collaborative problem solving, we can overcome these challenges together. Thank you, congratulations to all, and let's work together for a stronger Melrose.
We now invite Blue of a Kind to come forward to sing This Is My Song.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrines. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. This is my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their lands and for mine.
At this time, Democratic Whip Congresswoman Catherine Clark will administer the oath of office to Mayor-elect Jennifer Grigoraitis.
You're ahead of me.
Just really excited.
We're really excited too.
I, Jennifer Grigoraitis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and will support the Constitution thereof.
and will support the Constitution thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I
I, Jennifer Grigoraitis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me as mayor of the city of Melrose,
all the duties incumbent on me as mayor of the city of Melrose,
according to the best of my abilities and understanding,
according to the best of my abilities and understanding,
agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution
agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution
and the laws of the Commonwealth.
and the laws of the Commonwealth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I
I, Jennifer Grigoraitis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
very much. I'm all that's standing between you and the football game, so let's get on with it. And as someone who married into a Michigan family, you can guess who I'm rooting for. Thank you and good evening to you, Melrose. I first just want to especially highlight DPW and our public safety officials for their great work yesterday in our first storm of the season. And I also want to thank whichever weather god decided to have that storm fall on Mayor Broder's end of his term and not the start of mine, so thank you for that. Thank you, Karen Grant Blackburn, for guiding us through tonight as our MC and for your leadership of the Melrose Commission on Women. And a special thanks to Lauren Grimmick, Kathy Piggott-Broder, and the staff here at Memorial Hall for organizing tonight's celebration. Thank you to our friends at MMTV for broadcasting tonight's event, and a very special thank you to all of the students who lent their time and talents to tonight's ceremony. What a personal, professional, and civic honor it is to be sworn in as the next mayor of Melrose. I am surrounded tonight by people from every chapter of my life, which is humbling and inspiring. I am especially grateful for my husband, Bill, my children, Graham and Reed, my parents, my sister and her wonderful family, my sister-in-law and her family, all of whom are with me tonight and have supported me every step of the way. We are so honored to have House Democratic Whip Congresswoman Catherine Clark, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, State Auditor Diana DiZoglio, Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan, State Senator Jason Lewis, and State Representative Kate Lippert-Garabedian with us in Melrose tonight. We are even more fortunate to have them representing us so well and with such care and courage. We value and need your partnership, and we thank you. And to our outgoing mayor, Paul Broder, I will add a big thanks for your encouragement and help during these weeks of transition and for your enduring service and your friendship over many years. I'd like to give a special welcome and offer my sincere thanks to Melrose Mayor Gail Inferna and the many former Melrose elected officials who are here with us tonight. Thank you for your leadership and for all you have done to support and strengthen Melrose. Thank you also to our city staff who do the hard work every day in service to this community. You believe in the power of good governance, and I look forward to joining your team. I have many dear friends and family members in the audience, and even more watching from home, who have known me for many years, and I have felt your support and camaraderie and heard your cheers from near and far. I want to acknowledge my former colleagues from my past 2 decades in state service who are here tonight. I have learned so much from you, and you have helped shape me into the public servant and leader that I am today. Thank you for making me better. Welcome and congratulations to my fellow Melrose elected officials here on stage. I have had the pleasure to serve with many of you over the past 4 years, and I look forward to working with you over this next term as a partner and a colleague. Like you all, I am tremendously proud of this community and grateful for all it offers us. It is no easy thing to put yourself out there. Thank you for running, for sharing your ideas, for engaging with residents, and for approaching this next term with a clear sense of purpose and an open mind. Civic engagement, service to your community, is one of the most optimistic and hopeful endeavors one can pursue. And to be successful, local government requires individuals of all ideologies and walks of life to look around a community and think, together, we can do better. Both parts of that statement are meaningful: the hope of making progress and the commitment to doing it together. We will need the strength and dedication of that promise in the months ahead. Like me, no one on this stage would be here without the support and dedication of so many. And so I would particularly like to acknowledge the families of the elected officials here in Melrose. You are serving this community too, and we thank you. This idea of civic service and civic responsibility has been on my mind over these past months. Muhammad Ali said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." And I've been reflecting on that, on what it means for each of us, on what it calls us to do. I hope that together, in the weeks and months to come, we will bring more and more opportunities for Melrosians to engage with their government and continue to pursue their own paths to civic service, since there are so many ways to engage with our government and to serve our community. We are off to a good start in that regard, I hope. I want to thank the volunteer members of my administration's transition team for listening to so many stakeholders in the months since the election. Of course, that work will continue. And you, our community members, have shared great ideas. One that we plan to implement is a Melrose Civics Day. This will be a chance for the community to come together to learn more about our shared government, the incredible services we offer, the progress we are making, the challenges we face, and the ways to get involved and lend your talents to our shared endeavor of self-governance. This is just one step, but I hope it is a meaningful one. Beginning tomorrow, I will be meeting with many colleagues across city government, including our public safety officials and DPW employees. I will have the opportunity to visit classes at Melrose High School to hear from students, and will also be participating in my first school committee meeting as a member. I will also gather with older Melrosians at the Milano Center to hear more about their priorities and ideas on how we can better support them. I know we all will start our work in Melrose with this premise. Together, we have so much to be proud of. Progress has been made, more work remains. There are great things happening here all the time, in our neighborhoods, our schools, our city hall, our small businesses and nonprofits, our arts and cultural organizations, and beyond. I want us to know about them, share them, and expand them. Yes, we have challenges, and I am clear-eyed about them. One very real and significant hurdle will be our budget, as it becomes more and more clear that we do not always have the resources to do what this community rightly demands and what it deserves. So here's the challenge for us. Let's acknowledge our progress, the strength of our foundation, and then let's work together to build on it. As we do this, things will not always be smooth. Change will move too slowly for some, perhaps too quickly for others. We will face bumps in the proverbial civic road, hard choices, and sometimes only bad options. Critique will be inevitable, and that is okay with me. I hope we will be honest with ourselves and each other. I hope the criticism will be constructive. I hope that we will always choose to center our shared humanity when we disagree, that we remember that the folks sharing opposite views are our friends, neighbors, and fellow residents in this community we all call home. Many of the people on this stage have experienced firsthand what divisiveness looks like at the national and state level. And while we can and should have uncomfortable conversations here in our own community, we need to do so without causing harm. We control our actions and our responses. Let's have true and sustainable progress be our collective aim. If we adopt that frame, that progress is ours to achieve together, we will be more successful as a community, and I believe we will be more engaged and fulfilled as individuals. I am proud to acknowledge that I am standing here as the first woman elected mayor of this city in a mayoral race with 3 women candidates. I am proud to share the stage tonight with the women who will lead our school committee and our city council, including the first woman of color in an elected leadership role here in Melrose. A few glass ceilings are being shattered tonight, and much of it is because of the leadership example set by others, including those sitting up here with us on stage. My friend Chris Sinella recently shared with me the story of the very first woman mayor in the United States. And you might be surprised, as I was, to learn that she served as mayor decades before women achieved full suffrage in this country. Susanna Salter of Argonia, Kansas, none of you had Kansas on your bingo card, became the first woman ever elected mayor in America on April 4th, 1887, as Kansas had allowed women to vote in some local elections as early as 1885. But here's the rub. Ms. Salter was never really supposed to win. She was active in the Women's Christian Temperance Union at the time, and her name was placed on the ballot as a joke by a group of men who wanted to mock her and the other women active in the movement, hoping a loss would discourage them from action and activism, hoping to limit their power. Well, the joke was on them when she won handily. For that small corner of the country, she was a change maker and trailblazer, even if an accidental one. And though she was the first, she would not be the last. Now, that's a story from a long ago time, but it also speaks to a broader theme. We cannot stop progress. We cannot trick it. We cannot bind ourselves to the old ways. We cannot protect our power with hubris or cover ourselves in the conceit that we know better because we always have. Nonetheless, progress doesn't happen on its own. It takes hard work. And our communities are better and stronger when we include more people in that work, and not just by accident, but when we set our minds to it. It's true that our community and our leadership here in Melrose is more diverse than it ever has been. Progress has been made, and more work remains, and I am committed to doing my part. I'll close with a quote from my hero, Hillary Rodham Clinton, of my alma mater, Wellesley College, who described her life's mission this way: do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. There are so many people in Melrose who embody those words, who live their lives this way, in big ways and small ones, often behind the scenes, without seeking credit or glory, in all the places you can, as long as you can. I see you and I value you. And I know this: you and I and all our fellow Melrosians cannot do anything alone. We need each other. And so, my friends, neighbors, and colleagues, here we go. Together, let's move Melrose forward. Thank you.
Thank you all for what I hope you experienced as an evening that was filled with laughter, some vision, and a lot of hope. So thank you for joining us this evening for the 2024 inauguration ceremony. Congratulations again to our new mayor, our city councilors, and our school committee members. Kindly stay seated until all the officials exit the stage. Thank you all so much.